Well, hello guys. We are back. So we just did a duo stream, our first one where we were streaming with one of our subscribers. Now, our subscriber had to leave for a bit and wasn't able to come back on screen, and so we are restarting this. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to scoop up some manure. So we are restarting this stream. Um, just us. And so we will give it another go here. I always hate ending a stream after I've already started it, but I guess when you do a duo stream, uh, the screen is split. And when one person leaves, it stays split. I was thinking, because on my end it shows that it goes full size. So I was hoping we'd be full size. But welcome back to the chat. Darlene says that is better. And Compa is saying hi. Welcome back, Compa. How are you doing? Did you have a good weekend? Are you having a good day? I guess good evening, depending on where you live now. We are just making our massive manure pile. We are just driving down towards the water here. We're traveling in the loader with a giant pile of straw, pea, and poop. We're going to make our manure pile over here, somewhere close and accessible that I can stir it up easily, down by the water. I'm going to end up, probably next year, I'm going to build a big garden right here. And then I've got my apple orchard over there. And between the two is a bunch of wild raspberries. Eric, how you doing, Eric? And so we are just kind of getting started here. I figure if I make all my soiled straw in a pile over here, I can stir it up, mix it up, let it decompose. And then I can worry about turning this into soil, spreading it out over this whole area. Next year, we'll have a big garden. This year's focus has been on the animals. We've gotten pigs. We've upped our goats. In the last year, we've gone from 2 goats up to 9 goats right now. The most we've had at once was 10. We have a cow. We've had a total of 3 cows. Right now we have 1. She is at a neighbor's farm. She is having some breeding time with the neighbor's bull. And so we'll get her back this week. So we're just kind of making the area pretty again for her. Christian, welcome back. How you doing, friend? Yeah, we're just kind of using the loader, cleaning up the area, scraping away the manure, just getting the barn and stuff all tip-top shape for when my cow comes back. And of course, we got to watch out for all of our goat friends because they don't know that the loader is dangerous. And so we'll let the goats kind of do their thing. Here's my little sign that I kind of need to clean up a little bit. It says White Pines Homestead established 2023. Welcome back to the chat, Jace. How you doing? And Pompa says, I'm doing great, but definitely way better come Wednesday. I'll be on vacation all next week. There we go. Sorry, my wife was just telling me that she was leaving. She was leaving the pitchfork down for me. It's always hard working around animals. You need to be very, very careful. You need to pay a lot of attention. Pastel, how you doing? I had a friend once who, well, I shouldn't even say once. I have a friend right now who, a matter of a few months ago, accidentally unalived one of their goats, doing exactly this. They didn't realize the goat got in front of them, and they put the loader bucket down and accidentally crushed him. And unfortunately, they were not able to save that goat. So goats don't understand what exactly is going on here. They are all over the bucket. They're just doing their thing. Unfortunately, I'm in and out of here right now. I can't just put them out into a different field. I've got both fields open. And Miop says, pin me, please. I would if I knew how, but I also wouldn't because, live streaming can be dangerous that way. And Egg says, hello, I just got myself a pet sheep. Awesome. Do you have any other animals, Egg? Avery says, I want one of those goats, please. They are fantastic. They're lovely. I think my favorite is that one. They're not my children, so you're allowed to pick favorites. This one is pretty cool too. I just got this one for Father's Day as a gift to myself. That one is a full-size goat. Kumar says, hi, good morning. I live in New Delhi, India. And you? We are in northern Canada up here. That's why it is so sunny and bright. We're in the far north where the sun just don't seem to want to set. Rudrak Jarwal says hi from India. And Eric says, you got that nice bright sunshine. Egg says, I got a baby goat also, and 10 chickens and 3 roosters. Nice. We have currently 29 chickens. Do a head count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we're good. We're all clear. So we currently have 29 chickens. We haven't fully counted and identified how many are roosters and how many are chickens. And then I also have 15 ducks on the go, and I'm hatching another 40 ducks. And our Russian friend is saying greetings from Russia. Sean says, you are my favorite Canadian streamer. You are a natural in front of the camera and can do this as your main source of income. Sean, welcome. Sean, I feel like we haven't had too many interactions together. Thank you for being here. And I appreciate the compliments. JC is saying, hi, nerd. Hello. How you doing, JC? Rudd says, did the farmers in Canada earn more than Indian farmers? Any ideas? Well, our economy is definitely different than India across the board. I think we do, but farming in general is a hard business. It's hard to make money running a farm. And Jay Razor says, I shovel poop for a living. Apparently, so do I. We are mucking out in front of the barn. And so half of this is mud, half of this is dirt, half of this is poop. So we do the same thing. And Kumar says, please come to India for a trip. You know, maybe one day I will. I have some friends who are priests who are from India, and they are lovely people, and they go every year. So maybe one day when my kids are older and they can watch the homestead, maybe the wife and I will have to go on a vacation. Bear with me, guys. We are just scooping up some of this mud. Got to get nice and close to the barn. Spinning our tires here. And Avery says, you are a big animal guy. I love that. Well, thank you. And Compass says, I'll be right back in a bit. Rod says, I wish I was born in Canada. Trippy Cat says, please shout out my friend. Nick has joined so many of the streams. How do you guys all know Nick? Everyone seems to know Nick. It's hard to scoop this up. I think we need to get out and do some old-fashioned shoveling. So let's go get our. I wish I was wearing my manure boots. We're gonna get out there in the shoes. It is what it is. Ed says, "What if I have a tapeworm?" Well, then you have to name him. He is now part of you. Sajish says, "Hi from Kerala," and Gisty says, "I also work with the poop. I work in drains." Sin says, "Hi from Japan." We have a very diverse crowd right now. Thank you guys for joining. And are you in Canada or the US? I am in Northern Canada. 32 says Ford, Dodge, or Chevy trucks. I'm currently driving a Ford, so I've got a Ford F-150. I've driven a Dodge. My SUV is a Chevy. I think they're all good. They all have their problems. They all have their pros. Ed says his name is My Wildlife CA. My name is Justin. Welcome to My Wildlife. And Mango says, what part of New York are you from? We're in Northern Canada. Northern Canada. We're going to let the machine just idle here because it wants to do a burn. So we are going to get out in the mud and we're going to hand shovel this for a bit. I'm going to use the good old pitchfork and try to get some of this stuff that's right up against the barn. And Rud says, are you married? Yes, I am. I have a wife and I have 5 sons. I have 5 children. And Shin says, God bless all. Elliot says, well, Elliot, we need context. What are we voting for? Good, bad? Gonna change the world one way or another? And Sticky says, is it like a video patron? What Patreon is, Patreon does allow video. That link I shared on my Patreon was so that people could join my last live stream. Specifically, I was inviting Abby over because Abby is our very first moderator. And Nerio says, hi from Remia. And Sajish says, God bless you. Well, thank you guys. Elliot says, bad things? Definitely Hitler. We're saying who is worse, Donald Trump or Hitler? It is 100% of the time going to be Hitler. But who knows, guys? The world's pretty crazy, and we'll see if World War III ever comes about. But yes. Do, 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 do. And R32 says, who will be the second moderator? I do have other moderators, all pretty well people I know or who are other content creators who I've been interacting with for a long time. A couple guys here that have been around for a very long time. We have been doing this live streaming since January. So we started doing this back in January, and it's really been taking off lately, the last kind of couple months, thanks to you guys. And so I try to interact with all of you as best as I can. While I'm doing work like this, shoveling poop with my goats behind me, sometimes I miss some of your conversations. If I miss anything you say that you really want to know the answer to, I want you to uh, put an exclamation mark in front of what you said. Always start without doing that. And I'm trying to read as we go. But if I miss something important, put that exclamation mark so that I know, hey, you've already said it once and I need to catch up. Dano says, thanks to us, work gets done slower. I've worked a farm or two. And Sticky says, uh, point of view me right now because I'm getting ignored. I'm not ignoring you, Sticky. Sorry, it's just busy. Lily is throwing out the turd burglar. And Dano, I caught what you meant with farm. Lucas says, what minority would you send to El Salvador first? The El Salvadorians? Fun fact about Salvador. Salvador means savior in Spanish. So El Salvador would be the savior. And I had a Xbox gamer tag back in the day. You know, my gamer tag. My gamer tag was Dark Salvador X. Fun fact. Played a lot of Halo 3 using Dark Salvador as my name. Martin, how you doing, friend? I can't read your first script, but I do see the hi. A person says, where are you? We're in northern Canada. We're up here in the far north, off-grid on my homestead. Welcome to my farm. I've got my goats hanging out with us. There's the solar panels. And we got the loader here because we are mucking poop away from the barn. Dano says, no Warcraft? No, I never played World of Warcraft. Back in the day, I did play quite a bit of Guild Wars, if that counts. But now I live off grid. We don't play games. We work with animals. We play real world Minecraft. Dano says, no Diablo? Okay. I played the hay out of Diablo 2 and 3. I've never played Diablo 4 or Immortal. I try to stay current with kind of all things. I love the video games. They are addictive. I played a lot of Call of Duty and Counter-Strike Global Offensive, basically throughout university. So I used to be kind of a junior engineer. I went to school for civil engineering, got my bachelor's. During that time, I played a lot of video games. You wouldn't think you'd have time for that, but apparently I did. But after getting married, having kids, and now living off grid on a farm, you don't have time for that stuff. You're too busy mucking poop away from your barn. That would be a very fast ticket to divorce if I was sitting inside right now playing video games while my wife was out here mucking poop. That would not be so fun. R32 says, did you grow up in a farm? No, I grew up in a city. Farming is new to me. We've been doing this for about a year and a half. Apator is asking what country. We're in northern Canada. Fun train says, but I live in Maine on Quebec, New Brunswick Island. Well, hello, fellow Canadian, and happy Canada Day come tomorrow. We have one review message looking for. We will hide that. I do have a filter in the chat, guys. If anyone's swearing, don't cuss. I'm pretty open to anything. I don't really care if anyone's really trolling. But let's keep the swearing down because we do have children working. We want to keep this relatively wholesome. There's a lot of chatting going on, which is awesome. So if I miss anything, I apologize. Jedi says, ever see Bigfoot? Man, I'm seeing him all over my news feed. That dude is everywhere. He is getting around, but he likes his sugar booger, so that's not okay. And Make Up by Anita says, hello from India. Alaska. Welcome back to the chat, friend. Dano says Northern Canada. You're in the Northwest Territories? No, I'm not up in the Northwest Territories, but I am closer to Hudson's Bay. That's about as close as I can get you without telling you where I live. I'm gonna keep. You guys are stopping me from muck and poop, and that's okay because I want to keep up with the chat. Sumam Melegrosos says God makes mistakes too. Flooded the earth to start over. Noah's Ark. And Percio. I'm sorry, friend, but that is one of the very quick ways to get yourself hidden from this channel. I'm usually pretty good, guys. I like to chat with you guys. You guys can make fun of me. You can chirp me. Apparently, I'm a lot of people's favorite transgendered YouTuber. I'm not, but I am, I guess. I don't care if you guys try to make fun of me. I'm okay with that. We can have a wholesome back and forth, but no racism. Let's keep the swearing down, and let's just have fun. We're here to be wholesome, have a good time together. Um, Malcolm, voila, machine. Unfortunately, you're getting him too. I told you, don't swear. You can make fun of me, Malcolm, but you can't swear. And Aether, no, I am not trans. I am a man, but people like to troll that way. I'll show that. Uh, that's just a joke people like to say. And the Raytheon says, you're near Cochrane, I bet. I have worked north of Cochrane. There's a gold mine up that way, Detour Gold Mine, and I have worked up there. Ugh, I've lived up there for a little while. And Christian says, well, you do look like Justin Bieber's uncle. You know what? I can't show right now because my hair is slicked back like a goon. But I used to. I always say I was the original Justin Bieber. My hair had that kind of side swipe, longer side swipe. But I'm older than Justin Bieber, less famous but older. And I had the Justin Bieber haircut before Justin Bieber had the Justin Bieber haircut. We're talking back in the baby days. Justin Barron says hi. Good timing, Justin. How you doing, friend? Quinn says party. We're having a poop party. And Statenizer says, what's everyone doing for the 4th of July? Well, I'm a Canadian, so we are celebrating tomorrow, the 1st of July. That is our Canada Day. We said if Big Brother America gets a day, we want a day too. And so we do Canada Day. Ugh. And just because, we're copying your homework, but we don't want the teacher to know, we picked the 1st of July instead of the 4th. Where are we? We are up here in northern Canada. It is 8:41 p.m. We got about another hour, maybe hour and a half of sunlight. And so we were just doing some barn chores. We are mucking the barn. The goats might have taken off on me. I don't think they're in the barn. No, the goats are somewhere in the front yard. We'll find them later. Out here on the farm, we have ready? Goats, cows, chickens, ducks, rabbits, pigs. I think I got them all. And a dog. The chickens and ducks are living in that log cabin I built over there. The goats are somewhere. I let them out, so they're somewhere. They'll come when I call them, so I'm not worried about them. My cow is currently out at the neighbor's farm, reading with their bull. And so, yeah, the rabbits are kind of in here and in the hutch behind them. We got 3 baby rabbits. Tommy, welcome back to the chat. Tommy, how you doing? Tommy says, it's been a while since I saw your last stream. Where have you been? Keeping busy, I hope. I spent the weekend at an off-grid island camping. There was no cell service, no Wi-Fi, none of that. So totally off-grid. So we were, I live off-grid, but that was disconnected off-grid. I was saying earlier on my other live stream, I was telling the story. The last time I have gone more than 24 hours without having a phone turned on and with me was probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I went on a fly-in fishing trip. And so on a fly-in fishing trip, what you do is you drive to a remote area, you hop on a bush plane, the plane flies you into an island, and you spend a week or whatever you're doing on the island. But about day 4, I accidentally dropped my phone in the lake, gone. And so that island did have Starlink because they had a generator. And so you did have satellite internet. So I could at least text people while I had a phone. But I had to spend the next 3 days with no connectivity because I was imbecile. I was a fool. I was sober. I don't drink. I'm completely stone sober, but I had was horsing around. There was some trees in the lake, you see, and the lake had been a previously flooded area. And so I found these trees out in the middle of the lake. I boated up to them and I went to climb into the tree, but I was wearing baggy shorts and I had my phone on me. And my phone fell out of my pocket while I was climbing into the tree. I heard the splash, but it didn't register what it was. Uh, could have been a fish. Who knows? I just heard a bit of a splash as I was landing against the tree and climbing up. Went to pull my phone out to take a selfie. No phone. Runic, how you doing, friend? Runic, you have the verified check mark. What do you do for content? For anyone who doesn't know, Runic is a very special person. That means that they are verified, either 100,000 plus subscribers or known outside of YouTube as an influential figure of some sort. We have another YouTuber who joined the channel with their verification, and they were on Good Morning America. That's how they got theirs. Uh, Dolores, I will show that, Dolores. Dolores sitting here saying, "Are you homosexual?" No, I am not. I have a wife and 5 children. Um, and Sherney is throwing out the hearts, hand. I'm going to call you hand sanitizer because it's nicer to say. Hand sanitizer was saying, "I was on World Star Hip Hop once." Very cool, friend. And John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt says he is Canadian. Yes, I am. Justin says, "I am from Canada, but currently live in uh, New York with my family." And hand sanitizer is saying, "I'm kidding." World Star Hip Hop, that's like the OG YouTube where guys would get into fights on the street, right? Um, I think that's what that was. And but why says, "You hunt. And if you do, what game do you shoot for?" I do hunt. I hunt for whitetail deer primarily, but also I get out doing a lot of grouse hunting. So I go hunting for partridge and rabbits and ducks, geese, that kind of stuff. This past year, I actually managed to harvest 2 deer off of my farm field back here, way back there. It was my best hunt ever. And Tree Rogi says, "I was on Hee Haw once." We're talking about getting donkeys. That is definitely on the table. Um, I was kind of against it at first, but then my wife mentioned, "Well, what if we got two and we bred them?" And I was like, "We are building Noah's Ark out here. We're breeding cattle, rabbits, goats, chickens, ducks. Um, gonna do pigs. Right now, we're just raising our pigs for meat, but we're planning on breeding some maybe next year." Um, Just a dude says, "Is Canada actually friendly?" And Darlene says, "Canadians are very friendly." Of course, you're gonna get mean people and jerks, just like anywhere else in the world. But I do think we generally have a friendly demeanor. At least I try to. And at the end of the day, isn't that all that matters? Devin, welcome back. How are you doing, Devin? Hope you had a good weekend. A gamer girl says, "What about chickens?" We've got chickens and ducks back in the log cabin. In fact, let's take a quick break from shoveling poop and go check on the ducks and chickens. Let me take you for a little ride, friends. Ba, ba, ba. A gamer girl says, "Quack." We got to go this way. And Tommy says, "I'm going to bed. It's 9:49 p.m. in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And have a good night. I look forward to seeing more live streams." Well, Tommy, thank you for joining us again. It is always a pleasure to have you drop by. Have a good night. Try not to fall. And yes, take care, friend. Canadian grower. Let me show you guys the chickens and ducks. They're in the log cabin. Well, bam. Oh, boy. I really wanted to see the ducks because they are starting to get all their feathers. How much would Canadian grower? It says, "How much would it cost for you to get on the floor and bark like a dog?" Well, Canadian grower, we are not monetized yet, so you can't even donate unless you were to donate through Ko-fi. But I would say I have some dignity. $5. You send $5 over, and I'll bark like a dog. The thing is, I don't have any shame, so it doesn't matter. $5 to $5. And But why says, what are you doing with that equipment in the back? Um, we talking about the solar panels back there or the loader back here? I'm mucking around the barn. I'm just shoveling away all the manure right now. And so we got some roosters, some chickens, some ducks back there. We can actually come right in here and say hi to everyone. Close the door behind us just so nobody sneaks off. Hey, chickens. Hey, big guy. Hello. Hello. Here's the yard for now. Shows what we're doing, so we can't talk. I'll just make sure that we are still good here. And Devin says, sell out. Gamer Girl says, yeah, even if you get 1,000 subs, you aren't monetized. I would know. A Gamer Girl, so obviously you make content as well. What kind of games or what kind of content are you making? And the Lost One says, attack my duck army and be free. Welcome back, the Lost One. You keep talking like that, and I will always remember you. Yum says, can I have a job? I'll eat the manure. Oh boy, that's a different kind of channel altogether. Gisty says, you're living the dream. May God bless you. Thank you. GSM says hi. And the Gamer Girl says, I had a leghorn. Her name was Chicky Nuggy. My profile pic was her as a baby. My profile pic is her as a baby. Nice. Ace Wolf Peach says, are you eating swab pigeon? No. My wife wants me to turn on the cozy coop. That is this heat lamp. So she wants me to turn this on for her, which I will. Nad Mix Vlog says, done, subscribe, and like. Thank you. Hand sanitizer says, dang, this whole time I thought birds were just government drones. But if they are, I got a lot of eyes watching me. The ducks are really looking nice though. They're getting all their feathers coming in. It's hard to complain about that. They are looking pretty. All these birds are getting along just splendid. And Shubham says, are there dogs in your farm? I have one German Shepherd, or sorry, I always do that. I always do that. So I have one yellow lab, golden retriever. For the last 9 years, I did have a German Shepherd Husky. Unfortunately, she got sick and passed away this past year. And so whenever someone asks me, "Do you got a dog?" I always jump to say German. I have a German Shepherd Husky. I do not anymore. She was a good dog. She was a great farm dog, super protective of the animals. But now we got Lily, who is just a little snuggle bug. She has a yellow lab. She does a very good job at night, though. Um, here's the difference between a German Shepherd Husky and a yellow lab golden retriever. Let's set this up. If there was a predator, a coyote, a wolf, or a fox on the property, my husky would not let anyone know. She would just take off, chase it away, go after it. She'd fight with it. But she would go. My yellow lab will sit on the deck and bark at it and hope it goes away. That's the difference between the two of them. They made a good pair. And oh, Heat Man says, how much is a bucket of fried chicken? Dude, I just got a bucket of fried chicken not long ago, and it was like 35 bucks. Stuff's expensive. And a gamer girl says, why does your lab have my name? Who's that? Lily? Lily is a very common name. And Lizzie says, your video reminds me of when I lived in my mom's farmhouse. There's nothing like the country life. Speaking of which, hi guys. This is Faye. She's our full-size goat. She is the queen. Hey, Faye. And this is her baby, Elsa. Boom. Faye, Faye, you don't have to be scared of me. Hi, girl. Hi. So this is Faye. She is our Alpine Toggenburg. She's a full-size goat. And then over here, we have Mimi. We have Noe, Big Daddy Orion. That's the buck. That's the breeder. Bast. He's our weather. That's Orion's son. He is castrated, so he is now a weather. They call it a weather when you take their nuts away. And William says, "Hey, look at LeBron. I don't think me and LeBron have much in common. But why? Says GSD are great protectors. It would die before letting livestock get killed or hurt. Um, Devin says, is that one goat being singled out? Which one? This one? She's kind of the queen bee, being the biggest, and so the other goats do stay a little bit away from her, just because she throws a mighty mean headbutt if she wants to. And a gamer girl says, I miss making animal videos, but I graduated, so I don't see the snakes anymore. We have a lot of snakes out here. And Lizzie says, never knew that. Thanks for sharing. Queen G. Queen Faye. Mimi here was the biggest because she's a mini Nubian. So I got a few different goats here. She was a mini Nubian, so she was slightly bigger than the rest. So she was the queen. But Faye over here is quite a bit bigger than her. In fact, you see this little one here? It is less than a month old, and it is the same size or a little bigger than my 4-month-old goats. And a gamer girl says they were pet snakes. Well, we don't have any pet snakes, but we do have a lot of wild snakes. Thankfully, up here in northern Canada, none of them are poisonous. Bofa says, how's the pigs? The pigs are doing great. They are in the forest right now, just living the pig life. And the gamer girl says, I put them around my neck and called them a snakeless. The gamer girl says, venomous. Our snakes up here are not venomous, thankfully. Ugh. I've never, I can't say I don't understand why people have had snakes. I did have some pet lizards. I had some pet lizards for a while. Um, Reptiles can make good pets. They really can. How's life in northern Canada? Lizzie asks. It's phenomenal. I'm really not complaining. The sun is out. The goats are having a good time. We are just trying to do some work here. Tomorrow is Canada Day, and so I have the day off work. I got to work a little bit in the morning, maybe an hour in the morning, and then I get the rest of the day to just relax, go hang out with friends, do some work around the farm. So we can afford to stay up a little bit late doing farm chores and hanging out with you guys, at least until the sun goes down and the mosquitoes carry me away. And is it like all farmland? So what I have here, I have about 30 acres of field here, and then I've got about 126 acres of forest. Also, my property is very unique. I'm on a peninsula, and so I've got water, and it goes all the way around the whole property, all the way to the far side and all the way around. It is truly a one of a kind property. Do they accept Americans? Yes. The previous owners of this property were Americans. Canada, it's starting to get a little bit strict, a little bit harder for Americans to buy land up here. But historically, it's been very open to Americans. And so there are a lot of Americans who have properties up here in northern Canada. And it's fairly cheap for what you're getting. And Chemflix says, why does anyone care what you have? I don't know, friend. It's just fun to interact with other people who do different things than you. So I think just we're having good conversations. Um, I think people seem to care. And but Y says, as an estimate, how much money did that land run you? The land ran me about $2,000 an acre, and then the cabin and garage were extra on top of that. But the land cost worked out to roughly $2,000 an acre, which is still very affordable. I've heard some crazy numbers down states way. Um, you know, just up here, there's so much land available, so few big cities that it becomes very affordable to buy land. And this was an expensive property um, because of its location. Hi, Georgia. How you doing? Gamer Girl says it's 10 p.m. I need to eat. It's 9 p.m. here, but that's a good idea. When I go inside, maybe I'll have a glass of goat's milk. And a Gamer Girl says, I got to go. Goodbye, Gamer Girl. You have yourself a good night, and thank you for stopping by. Abigail says, hi, my name is Baby Aaron Rogers. Does that make you a baseball player? Oh, is that who Aaron Rodgers is? I got that right? And the art of pain says Idaho. We're in northern Canada. Thanks for the hearts, gamer girl, and thanks for joining us. Make sure to stop back another time, and we will chat again soon. We almost have a load here. We can almost go dump this. Oh, Aaron Rodgers, the football player. Dang it. I got the wrong one. And you know what? I think back in the day, I might have drafted Aaron Rodgers on a fantasy football team. I should have known that. Context is everything. And Mario says, interested in selling some of that property? Unfortunately, not at all. You know what we are talking about doing though in the future, potentially, when the kids are older, because I've got 5 boys and they're all quite young. Um, when the kids are older, I wouldn't mind trying out the idea of turning the current house into an Airbnb. I plan to build another house on the property one day in the future. And when we do that, this house will be available. And so I thought maybe that could become an Airbnb. And so people could get a taste of the good life. Sounds like a good way to get other people to muck my barn for me. And you know what? Here's another idea I had. I want you guys to tell me, is this a good idea or a bad idea? So I have some space in the barn, of course, lots of walls here. One of the things I was thinking of doing down the road is, let's say in the barn on the back wall here, um, eventually when we are fully monetized, um, I was thinking about doing something like a donation wall or even just a subscriber wall, and then putting up a big sheet of plywood, paint it white, and then anytime someone donates, their name gets up on the wall. I thought that'd be a fun little idea and a way to kind of recognize people. Fun way to see, see who supported the channel in that kind of way, and maybe even another wall just for subscribers who have made any contribution to the channel, such as just being here for the chat, just being here talking with me time and time again, returning viewers. Because no, I'm not doing this for the money. We're doing this just to have a good time with everyone and to kind of raise awareness of what the farm life is like and answer people's questions. And to be honest, this is just a lot of fun. I enjoy talking to you guys. And so even people, and I know that not everyone has the means to donate, and I don't expect that. And I don't want that. So even just people like Devin here, who are returning viewers time and time again, who we continue to have great conversations, I'm thinking down the road, maybe we make a wall in there where we can write a message to a loved one, or um, just have your username or a specific name. Maybe if a memoriam, like if you have a deceased grandparent or parent or someone, and that's what you want on the wall, like, hey man, I'd love to see when we're out here chatting my grandma's name on the back of the wall, something like that. I thought that'd be a cool idea um, down the road once we're a little more established here. We are close to monetized, guys. We are probably only about um, 4 live streams away at this rate. So that could happen sooner than later. But yeah, it's just an idea. I've got lots of ideas, but if you guys have any good ideas on how to engage with the audience, how to maybe support back the people who support the channel, again, like I said, whether that be through monetization, through monetary donations, or just routine contributions through conversation, let's hear it in the chat. Another one I was thinking is, doing potential donations, like, I don't know, certain goals. Like if you hit a certain amount, you get to name one of the ducks or one of the pigs or something like that. Obviously, an animal that we're not eating, an animal that would be staying on the homestead for a long time. Um, Another one that I thought of was donation goals. So if we are wanting to get donkeys, have the chat kind of contribute towards that over, say, the winter season or something, and then use those funds to put back into the channel by investing in more animals. Um, and then having community polls where you guys get to name the animals via vote. All something to think about. Abigail says, paint the barn green and gold. Well, you know what I'm gonna do on the outside of it? I have some engineered wood siding left from my last house, so I'm gonna do the outside with this nice dark brown engineered wood, but the inside, that is up for conversation. That's for sure. Hashim says, "Would you ever ride a donkey bareback?" Um, let's rephrase that. Would I ever ride on the back of a donkey? Um, Potentially. There's mammoth donkeys. It's a type of donkey that 7 feet tall. Mammoth donkeys. People do ride them just like horses. I still am able to have children, and I might want to keep it that way. So I don't know if I'll go bareback. Scubon says you should have some dogs as well in this much large farm. I do have one dog right now, and we're talking about maybe breeding her next year. All my dog food I get for free. I'm part of a program called Loop, LOOP, and I collect the local grocery store. It's about an hour away, but I collect their expired food. And so I get more expired meat than I know what to do with. And so currently, my dog is on an all meat diet. She gets salmon, she gets steak, she gets trout, bass, all sorts of good food. And so we have enough food to just feed as many dogs as we want. I also give a lot of that away to other people with dogs who are also doing whole meat down food. We got a message held for review. Um, sure. Old Blue Eyes says, "Why does this dude look like his mom made love to a panda bear?" I don't know what that means. I am Italian heritage and Canadian, but cool, cool. Lizzie says, "Excellent," and Sheldon says, "Dog eats better than me." She, I'll show her when she comes around. Here, the goat's coming back to see what we're up to. Um, I'll show her. She looks fantastic. This whole meat diet, she looks fantastic. I probably missed some stuff when I was out ranting, but Lizzie asks, "What's the religion practice in Canada?" There's a lot of Christianity. That's probably the primary religion. Abigail asked me, "What is your favorite NFL team?" I Now that I live out here, I don't follow the sports very much, so I don't have one. Do 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 do. And yes, Lizzie says, "I don't see the dollar sign on this page." That's because we're not quite there yet. And Devin says, "Love the channel and will definitely catch any streams I can." I appreciate you, Devin. Thank you. And like I talk about you to work, LOL. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I talk about you guys at work a lot as well. And legendary bounty hunter Red Harlow says the name's Red and all I see is yellow. You might want to clean up that mess, friend. Um, Hashim says, "Bro, I tried growing carrots. I still like red cabbage better than white. Were you successful on growing carrots?" Um, it's still early in the growing season here, but I haven't done any vegetables this year, just some tomatoes and apple trees. Um, we've got a lot of natural fruit. We got a lot of raspberries and strawberries that grow on the property. The boys were having a blast picking strawberries today. But this is my favorite goat. And yes, I'm allowed to pick favorites. This is Evie, named after the Pokemon. She is a dog. Hello, Evie. Hello. Hello, girl. She literally wants to jump in your lap whenever you sit down on a lawn chair. She wants to come hang out. She tries to sneak into the house. She's gotten in a couple times. She's a great goat. She's super, super friendly. Awesome goat. And Abby says, "How long are you going to be live for?" Probably another half hour. We probably have another half hour. I do have one fainter goat, DH, but not this one. This one behind me. Haha. That one there is half fainter goat. That is Maple. That is Maple. I got to name her. So you take turns with the kids naming goats. So you get some, like or any animal. So you get some animals named like Way Coco or Evie. But then I got to name Maple, my favorite tree. Evie wants to knock you guys into the poop. Don't do that, girl. Um, Lizzie says, "My mom had two goats." This is Elsa over here. And that's her mom. That's Faye, our full size Toggenburg. Hey, girl. Elsa over there is only about a month old. She's still very young. She is about the same size as Evie here, and Evie's about 4 months old and eating the camera stand. Evie, that's enough, girl. Hello, girl. Try not to eat the tripod. It doesn't taste good. Maybe it does. I haven't tried. Boom, 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 boom. Would you say hello for turkey? Hello, turkey. Welcome to Northern Canada. Tech and Life says, why Canadians are more expressive while talking? Not you, but mainly girls in cities. Is it due to US influence? Um, can you elaborate when you say expressive? Do you mean like, you know, what's happening, boys? Welcome back to the chat. That is a YouTube thing, that's for sure. And beautiful goats, bro. Thank you. Mainly off grid says hi. Hello, we are also off grid. There is the solar panels doing their thing. I need to see if if this machine is done doing a burn, and then maybe we'll take a load of manure out to the garden area. Yep. Look out, girl. You can't come in today. You're not allowed in the loader. Well, we're still doing a burn, but I think we'll take this load. Ugh, it should be good to drive. Oh, she's definitely coming in. We have a we have a companion here. Okay, if you're gonna come in, you got to stay safe. Okay, you're getting manure on my hands. Gross. Okay, you stay safe. You got to stay with me. We're taking our goat for a ride, guys. Everyone else is all clear. Okay, you want out? You want out? Ugh, she didn't like that. Okay, and mainly off grid says great channel, brother. Do you have a channel as well? I assume that is that a play on the word. Are you in Maine? Is that where you live? Mainly off grid. Devin said maybe one day she'll be a rider. Vim says, "Is that your natural beard?" No, this is fake. It's just pretend. I just glue all the individual hairs on. I shave it off the back of the legs of the goats and I glue it on. Yes, this is a natural beard, and yes, it is partially scraggly. I am of Italian heritage, not known for our great beard growing, but I put in an honest effort, guys. I try. I try, okay? We got some beautiful fog growing in the field back here. Some mist. And the goats are lovely. They are. Edward says very good vibes. Thank you. Gabe says 8647, and I have no idea what that means. Jeff BQ, welcome back, Jeff. How you doing? What are we doing today? We are just moving some manure. We're mucking around the barn. We're getting things cleaned up because I have the electric fence for the main field down right now because my cow is out at a neighbor's farm, but she's coming back. And so I want to be able to get in and out lots before I put the electric fence back up. So, yeah, we're just trying to get this done, get this all buttoned up so that when my cow comes back, I can put the electric fence back up so she doesn't go wandering away. She is currently out breeding with the neighbor's bull and hanging out with their cattle. And so she's made a lot of new friends out there. And so there is some concern that she might not want to come back if she knows that they're just down the road. They're about 2 miles away, but she can get there by land. So, yeah, we want to get this work done so we can put the electric fence back up because I don't know if I'll fully trust her until she gets used to the goats again. We are getting a couple more cows in the fall. I should talk to that farmer here soon, actually. But yeah, for now, she'll be alone as far as the cows go, but we do have lots of goats to be friends with her. Electric fence, yes. I've got this big field fenced in by electric fence. My small field is with cattle fencing, 4 foot tall fencing. But this smaller field, we're just driving through it right now, is just wired up with some electric fencing. So I have the line down so I can drive over it, but I do have to put it back up when my cow comes back. We have one message held for review. John Boy says hi. I gotta hide that, Alan. You gotta stay calm, my friend. Keep it under control. And UN Zen Officiel says hi from Vietnam. Hello, friend. How you doing, buddy? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to Northern Canada. And Abby is saying, I feel you having a favorite goat. I have one of my own. Abby said, inoperative message. I see your channel is doing its thing. I did see your message. I did see it. Hashim said, bro, in winter, when it snows, how do you maintain? Well, I did just buy a tracked skid steer. So my skid steer is on tracks and it'll be able to come in and out of here easily through snow, slush, sleet, rain, ice. And so that's going to make life a lot easier. We were hand shoveling. So this will make life a lot easier. Bear with me, guys. I want to do a couple rounds of backflating to smooth this out before we shovel more. Let's just drop that down, spin her in reverse, and just kind of grade out this manure a bit. We're going to do this a couple times. And Rena, hello, you rich man. I am only rich because I have good friends with like you guys here joining me today. I appreciate all of you guys. We're having a great time. I'm having good company with good people. Any jobs? Unfortunately, this is not a commercial farm. This is just a homestead. So there are no jobs to be had. Just work and chores for me and my family. We always him and haw about getting more cattle, though. Eventually, I'd like to get up to 7 cows. 7 cows plus a bull. I had a bull, but he got aggressive, and so we ate him. But I would probably restrain from eating him if I had more cows to make it a little more worthwhile. Bear with me, guys. One more back blade, and then we're getting out of here to go talk to you guys a little more hands-on here. Got to scrape this back a bit. So that's good there. Now we'll drive forward and we'll do some hand shoveling and keep our conversations going. I'll show you what we just did there. So we're just scraping out in front of the barn. So voila, just getting rid of all that muck and poop and straw. And so I'll come back and I'll scoop all this out this way. I want to get what's close to the building. I don't want to hit the building with the machine, so we've got to do most of that by hand. And this Canada, yes it is. Welcome to Canada. Try to hit this at a bit of an angle so we can at least scoop some of it in. We'll back up a bit. Okay. Put that back in park. And let's keep chatting. Okay. Now we got some land to stand on. Spread that tripod out. Oh, give you guys the sunset in the fields back there is a better view. Maybe not of me. There we go. Look at that. It's lovely out there. And I'm just catching up with the chat a little bit. We got a lot of hellos. Okay, we're gonna stay current here. We got Javid making curry. Was that curry on the toilet? Is that what I'm hearing? Are you making you having an upset tummy, my friend? Azell says, "Hey, I think I know you. We both know Nick. Everybody knows Nick. Nick is my good buddy. Me and Nick are good friends. There are so many people. I gotta next time I see Nick, I gotta tell him. Everybody on my live stream knows him. How you guys doing?" Red says, "Yo." Spy says, "Are you growing weed out there? There are lots of weeds, but no, I am not. The fields are just for hay for the animals. And there's wild raspberries, wild strawberries. I did plant some apple trees, and I've got some tomato plants, but I didn't go hard on the garden this year. I just this year is all about the animals. We've got pigs, we've got goats, we've got rabbits, we've got chickens, we've got ducks, cows, and so this year is just all about taking care of all of them and not focusing on a garden. See, it's too easy when you have a property like this, when you have dreams and plans and goals and aspirations, it is too easy to take on more than you can chew. Um, I always get sad when I see other homesteaders have their YouTube channels and content like this, and eventually they announce that they are giving it all up. They take on too much, they burn themselves out, and they just need a break. And unfortunately, when you have this lifestyle, there is no break. You got to be in it. And so these people tend to burn themselves out. They don't have a good support system, or their heart just isn't in it anymore. Um, yeah, I love it. And so there we go. No burnout here. But I keep that in the back of my mind. I don't want to take on more than I can chew. Are you in Texas? No, we are in northern Canada. Red says, would you rather watch elbows grow or Red? You almost got me. See, I always read this a little bit slower. I read like I don't read so good sometimes because that way I can catch it before I say it. But that was close. That was close. I'm gonna put that one in the memory bank so it doesn't catch me off guard again. I've caught on to Nick. Everybody knows Nick, so I caught on to that one. Uh, Dawn, I can. Is that what you want? Is that what you want? You want to see the AirPods? I can do that. That is possible. That's a request we can agree to. Ugh. Oh, just a dude says it's always a trap when someone says say something like that. Usually it is, yes. But I like to play along. I like to have fun with you guys. Leo says, "Where are the moose? There are moose nearby. There's none on the property right now. I see a moon. There's a moon up there, but and we got a lovely sunset out here. We got some mist on the fields. I should really set you guys this way, and I'm kind of working in front, but let you guys see that. Isn't that is worth it? That is beautiful. It was prettier before I was scraping all this up, but that is beautiful. That right there. Are you Muslim? No, I am a Christian. Marina says hi from Scandinavia. Well, hello, Marina. How are you doing? Dawn says coolness. Jake Up says, did you know Justin Bieber's song Baby Baby originally was meant to be baby, baby, baby oil? I like that. Jacob, that was good. I love that. Ugh. See, I kind of ride my thoughts, guys, are I'm live streaming. I know that there's gonna be trolls on the live stream, and I kind of encourage it to some extent. As long as people are being, funny, genuinely funny, and we're having a good time. What I don't like is when people try to be over sexualized, swearing. We can't have swearing on here. I won't allow it. Um, or if people are being outright racist. If you're being funny, that's okay. But yeah, Bentley, baby, baby, baby oil. That is so great. That is a good one. I do feel bad for that guy, but that is a good one. Um, yeah. So anyway, it's okay to have a little bit of fun back and forth. If I didn't want to have fun with you guys, we wouldn't be doing this. And Jericho says, "Where's Lily? She's out here somewhere. She's out here somewhere. She's probably underneath the deck, if I had to guess. The goats, I let the goats out. So the goats are out playing around. So she usually keeps a little bit of distance from the goats." And Jacob says, "You got it. Cool videos, bro." Marina says, "Beautiful sunrise." This is actually the sunset. This is the end of the day up here in northern Canada. It is 9:22 p.m. and that is the sunset. Bentley says, "Yes, it was. How is it going today? I cannot complain. We're having a good time." DH says, "I troll people in real life, not online." Tree Squirrel says, "Nice sunset behind you. It is beautiful." The dude in the dad show says, "That's a green screen." If it was a green screen, could I show you the tractor? Could I show you that? I don't think I could move a green screen. I don't think I can, but it should be a green screen because it is beautiful. It is fantastic. I love it. And Abby says, "How long you going to be live for?" Probably another 15 minutes or so until that sun goes down behind the fields. Once it goes down, the mosquitoes out here want to pick me up and fly me away. And you know, as much as I love you guys, I don't want to disappear. I want to be able to come back and have another good chat with you guys. Um, let's see. We got a message held for review. Okay, cat. That is a great joke. I'm not going to ban you from the channel because I think that's a fantastic joke. However, it's not appropriate for this conversation. I have said that joke to other people before. You go, "None, ew," and then you say, "Wow, you're really good at it." I'm not going to let everyone else in on it, but I had to hide an inappropriate joke. Milo, it's okay, Cat. With a name like Cat's Hit, I can't blame you for trying. Milo says, "Can you cover the camera for a Lamar Jackson edit?" Yes, I can. I can never get it dark enough to make that transition work though. Abby says, hat backwards. Someone asked me to do it, and I said, okay. DH says, that's the thing, though. AI has everyone suspicious. And Milo says, yes, I already did that. I already did that. And you're welcome. Jordan says, last time I watched you, it was storming and you were building shelves in the garage. Yes, I was. And now we just got the goats kind of doing goat things. They keep coming in and out of the garage. They're like, I open the gates so that they can go out in the front yard. So they're like, freedom. They all leave the barn, they go out, and then they kind of get bored and they're like, I want to go to the barn. And then they come out here and they're like, hey, the gate's open, freedom. And they go back out and then they realize, oh, I want to go in the barn. They come back to the barn and they say, freedom. And they go back. You get the point. Uh, and Trey Chastian says, I'm here for the inappropriate jokes. Well, we got to walk. We got to keep them funny. Let's keep them funny. And Abby says, I'm going to go make another edit for you. And Tree Squirrel says, cute goats. Omar Vlog, throwing some hearts out there. And Jericho says, how's the goat get up there? She jumps. And Omar says, what are you doing? Literally shoveling poop in the sunset. Michael says, sending love and light. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Asman says, can you run to the last tree and come back for us? No, I got work to do. Ugh, not right now, but maybe one day. The last tree is like, if you're talking about that one, cool. If you're talking way back, I got a lot of property. That's pretty far to go. Shoveling poop, shoveling poop, giving you a sunset, shoveling poop. Oh, I started something I can't stop. So I'm giving you guys the better view, but over here, I mucked out the rabbit area, but put it my wife helped put it right in front of the gate. So I got to get this all out of here. I got to get that all out of there because I can't be having that. I'm gonna give you guys the sunset still. I need to be able to get in there in the morning. I don't want to walk through poop. And Asman says, you tricked me. Osmosis says, how long have you worked your homestead? A year and a half. A year and a half. Established in 2023. DH says, if you don't mind me asking, what part / province are you in? I live in Saskatchewan. I am in Ontario. I am actually coming through your neck of the woods next week. I'm planning to drive to Alberta. I bought a tracked skid steer and I got to go pick it up. So, yeah, I'll be going for a bit of a drive. And pretty La Lisa, can you make a heart with your hands? I can. And fun fact, guys, in sign language, this means I love you. I love you. So it's like this. I love you. And there's a heart. Look at that. That right there looks like a thumbnail. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that. Jamel McGee says, do you want to hear a joke? I would love to hear a joke, but keep it appropriate. Let's make it funny, but appropriate. And pretty Lalisa says, oh, thank you. You're welcome, Lalisa. So while you guys get to enjoy my head popping in and out, I'm shoveling poop. Ugh. And pee. But it's okay. It's from the animals, so it's not as gross as if it was humans. Ugh. I need to tilt the bucket. I need to give myself a better angle. Asman says, can you do a rock star move with your hands? A rock star move. Tilt that up so we can get more in there. I mean, I don't want to do devil horns, but like we could do like the yeah. Bull. This is bull. Can you guys see me now? Can you guys see me now? I'm kind of in and out of Wi-Fi here, so I apologize if I disappeared for a second. I know we just dropped everybody out of the chat. Am I back? Oh! Are we back like a heart attack, or did I lose you all? Ugh. While people are trying to re-find us, we're just gonna keep mucking here and see what happens. Maybe I got to turn my Wi-Fi off. There we go. I think we accidentally kicked everybody out because we went in and out of Wi-Fi. But Y says I'm back. Sorry, guys. I think so. I have DH says back like a vertebrae. I have Starlink at the house, but out here we are on cellular. And so if I get too close, we're kind of in that halfway zone between cellular and Wi-Fi. And boom, just like that, I booted you all out by accident. And Silly says, someone may have broken the guidelines. Um, Silly, if you had a verified check mark and your name said YouTube, then we'd be worried. But for now, we got the goats hanging out. Look at that. We got Maple, we got Evie. You guys can't see Evie, but here's Evie. Evie and Maple are just hanging out with us. They say, "Yo, what are you doing, man? Why are you scraping up the earth? There used to be grass here. Now there's just clay." Skittles says hi, and Dolcestini says, "Ah." Aaron says, "Silly, grow up." Paulo says hi. Silly says, "Oh, goats. YOLO to being a bot. I want to see these guys." Paulo says hi. Addison says hi. Yes, we got the goats hanging out here by the sunset. Everyone is having a lovely time. We are just mucking the barn. We're just shoveling poop. But these are the real treasures of tonight's live stream. And but Y says, dude is just rage baiting. You ignore him. I'm here to interact with every one of you, whether you're rage baiting, trolling, or just want to have a good time. We're here to talk. Paulo Dorado Silva says, Brazil. Asman says, please run, even if it's a short distance. You can do it. You can do it. You got to stay appropriate. I got to hide your message. You got to stay appropriate here, friend. Skittles says, my great grandfather likes goats. 1939 to 2025. Well, I am sorry to hear that he is no longer with us, but I have goats. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? I'm going to keep shoveling a little bit. I'm right here, guys. I'm reading. I'm here, but I do have to shovel manure. We got a job to do. So I got to finish this while we are chatting. So I'm just going to pop in and out and pop in and out. Paulo says nice, and Jack says goated. Amarian said dingle shingle on a pringle. Just say it one time. I don't think I said anything inappropriate when I did that. Did I? How's that going to play back? Is that going to play back in reverse? Something bad? Oh, oh. And Justine, he says, name your son Christian Ronaldo. Ronaldo. I have 5 sons. I have 5 of them. I think I'm running out of names, so maybe I will have to do that. And Paige Baby says, that view, 10 out of 10 out of 10 out of 10. Chico Loco, do you eat Fremunda cheese there? Is Fremunda goat? I do make goat cheese out of goat milk with our goats. Um, Goats. And this one just wants to say hi. This one is like, guys, love me. Love me. You're kind of in my way, girl. Ugh. This is Evie, and she is adorable. She just wants to be the closest. She's the most um, friendly to humans. She is a dog. She doesn't think she's a goat. She thinks she's a dog. For sure. Oh, okay, what do I got under there? Piece of plywood? Oof. Okay, let's maybe stop looking at my jeans and stare back up at you guys. Um, okay, if the goats have babies, can you name them Ronaldo? That is an option. The goats do have babies. We do breed them. So this does happen. Greener says, what's the worst dump you've ever taken? What did you eat? Where did you take it? You know what? I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of that one, but bro, I one time, the very first time I ever had to take a suppository before um, for medical surgeries, um, I thought I was dying. I literally thought I was dying on the toilet. That was the worst. That was worse than the surgery, worse than the recovery. A suppository. Oh, wildest. You on the west side? No, we're central Canada. Boop a doop a doop a doo. Sorry, guys, I'm having a hard time keeping up. Austin says, "Here's some money, man. 2,500, 25." Those dollar signs only count on YouTube chat log, but I appreciate you anyway, Austin. Thank you. With your job or what's your job? Hi, bro. Harmon, how you doing, Harmon? Prof Green Academy says, "Nice goat farm. We have goats, cows, ducks, chickens, pigs, and rabbits. Those are the animals currently on the farm, plus my dog." Hello, guys. And Ghost Rider says, "Good morning, brother." Good evening, friend. This is the sunset for me up here in northern Canada. And Prof Green Academy says, "That's my farm. You'll have to take it from me then." Ugh. Or better yet, you can come out here and shovel your own manure if this is your farm. Why am I shoveling your farm's manure? That ain't okay. Hope everyone's having a good night. Tomorrow is Canada's Day up here. And so we got the day off work. So we get to hang out with you guys a little bit here tonight. Maybe tomorrow night. We'll see. We'll see how much work we get done around the farm. Oh, oh, some of this soil is heavy. Oh, but it is a beautiful sunset. We got some mist growing on the fields. Austin, $10,000, $1,000. Ghost Rider said it's actually 8:06 a.m. in India. It is currently 9:36 in Canada. Christian says, "Happy Canada Day Eve." Yes, unfortunately, it's not as exciting as Christmas, but I will take it. Thank you. I plan to get together with some friends. We're going to go out on the lake. Um, I live on a lake here, guys. I show it this way. Got the lake all the way around the whole property. It's a peninsula. It's a beautiful property. And so not only are we out here, we are also, and Joe Chashini says it's 10:37 here in Ontario. Prof Green says, "I love animals. They're fantastic. They're fantastic." We're almost done mucking out this area. I still got more to do. There is never going to be zero manure to muck on a farm, but we are almost caught up here. Illuminator says, "USA, USA, USA." Over here we say, "Canada, Canada, Canada, my friend, mon ami. Bonjour, mon ami, comment ça va? Ça va bien et toi?" It's a little bit of French soir for you, mon friend. Austin is sending money in all currencies, 870,000 euros. Nadim is saying boo to Canada. Unfortunately, Nadim, you gotta go. Ain't nobody got time for that. Prof Green says, "We have goat manure." Illuminator says, "Is that Trump is number one? Is that what we're saying in the chat?" Oh, oh, there is just so much manure out here. Um, White Collar Jody says, "You should sell jarred farts. It is very lucrative." I do not have the body type, to pull that lucrative mission off. So we are going to stick to farming. Whew. Ah. What do you guys think? Is there a market for selling goat farts? The tricky thing is trying to bottle them. Ah. We are almost clear of the gate. We've almost shoveled all the manure away from the gate. Oh, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. I prefer the areas where I can use the machine over these areas where I got to go by hand. That is for dang sure. Uh, whew, okay. It's vermiculite in our 4-H clubs. Grab the camera for a Lamar edit, please. We got a lot of Lamar edits going on out there, but we can get the sun set out there, get the rake, and give a little one of these. I better be getting Lamar edits because I keep grabbing my phone for nothing otherwise. Beautiful sunset out there, though. Some mist on the field as it's cooling down. It's better if I stay away from it. You guys, the camera can focus over there. Where is this place? We are in northern Canada. Shredder says, can you say happy birthday, Austin? It's his birthday and he's in chat. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Austin. If it's really your birthday. Freshly Wild says, did we restart the stream vertical? We did restart the stream. No, we did not. We did earlier, but no, Freshly. What ended up happening is I got too close to my Wi Fi and I booted everybody out. So we had to give the stream a little bit of time to catch back up. And YM says, honestly, I don't really care what you're doing. Not to be disrespectful or anything. I'm just saying, well, YM, thank you for not caring, but still being here. Sometimes that is all the caring we need. Just being there for someone can be enough. Illuminator says, shirtless big boyo. And Kikluaha says, the sunset is beautiful. It is. I really got to stay out of screen because the colors pop when I'm not there. And Kikalua says, I wish my country legalized weed like in Canada. Well, I personally don't consume any weed. I don't drink. I don't do any drugs. Um, I just live life, man. Um, weed isn't for everyone. Some people enjoy it. Some people can't stand it. Some people have bad reactions to it. Um, it's a controversial subject, that's for sure. Um, I don't care what anyone does in their recreational time, mind you. I'm not judging. I'm just throwing out some words. And Freshly Wild says, I think we are on our way to 100 likes, Justin. It's all that sunset and them goats, them guys. And Abby says, just posted my edit on my backup account. Roman says, it's lovely. Nia says, that sunset is so beautiful, man. Piper says, Jesus loves you. Well, I appreciate all of you guys. You guys are all wonderful. If I'm not on screen right now because I want you guys to enjoy the mist on the field, I want you to enjoy that sunset. I'm here. I'm reading, but I want you guys to enjoy that for a second because it is enjoyable. It is lovely. I'm just out here shoveling poop, which is far less lovely, but that sunset is worth looking at. We have some fantastic views out here on the farm. I live off grid in the far north in Canada, and we get the northern lights all the time. We get beautiful starry skies. The closest town to me is like an hour away. And so there's no light pollution. I can see the stars every single night, and it is fantastic. And if I can share a little bit of that beauty with you guys, then we're doing something right. If you guys can come here and enjoy the view, enjoy some good conversations, that makes me happy. If it makes you guys happy. You know what else makes me happy? I just shoveled all that poop away from the gate. Look at all that. Holy man, that's a lot of poop. We can clean it up a little better later, but that was a lot of poop to shovel. And Freshly Wild is saying, certainly not a green screen. It is not a green screen. DH says, that's an awesome scene. Which country is this? This is Northern Canada. Nia says, what is your favorite thing about the farm life? That's such a huge dream of mine. You know what I would say? It's a lot of work. It is a ton of work. I mean, it's almost 10 p.m. here and we're still out here grinding away. But the work is very rewarding. It's very satisfying. Um, I'm a hunter. And so I've always grown up hunting for my food. I've shot lots of deer, rabbits, partridge, all of that. Being able to raise your own animals for sustainability, like the goats for milk, rabbits are for meat, the pigs are for meat, the ducks and the chickens are for eggs and meat. Being able to be a little more hands on and responsible for your food is a very rewarding feeling. Um, and then being able to share that with other people. We have helped people grow many different colonies of rabbits. We've given and sold a lot of goats. Um, we've traded things like my neighbor, who's like 2, 3 miles away. My cow is over at their farm, and we are breeding our cow with their cow. And in exchange, we're just giving them a handful of ducks. And to be able to have those kind of relationships and bargains and trades, it's wonderful. It's fantastic. This is a very rewarding lifestyle. It's a lot of work, but it's very rewarding. It's very enjoyable. We are at 100 likes thanks to you guys. I appreciate every single one of you. Um, what are we at for battery percent here? We are down to 11% battery. We still got some time here. Um, but let's put this down. We're gonna have to, I'm gonna have to muck a little bit more, but I'll show you what we did tonight here. We're gonna drive that away. So I cleaned up this whole area. I got a little bit more over there, but I'm putting an addition off the front of the barn for my male goats. So I'm gonna put an addition off the front here. So I needed to clear this out. I'll haul in some of my gravel to slope it away from the barn. But we'll clean that up tomorrow. Let's take a little ride in the big yellow tractor here, and let's go see. Oh, we gotta lock the gate up here. All the goats. We gotta tuck them in. Make sure everyone's in for the night. Let's try to set you guys up. Whip in the tractor with me. Oh boy, let's set you lower so we're not staring down at my jeans. Oh, let's tilt this up and put you right there. Okay. Nia says that's some good info, and thank you for sharing. Trinitron says, nice Lancer. Gary says, hello, my friend. I hope you are doing well this evening. Gary, are you Gary the snail or are you just Gary? Freshly Wild says, so awesome. Apollo says, hi. And Navajo says, what time is it? We are at 9:47 p.m. It is almost 10 p.m. The sun is going down. We are down to 10% battery on the phone. And Cam says, God bless you. Gary says, I'm the snail, LOL. Gary, why is your name changed? If you are Gary the snail, and Rip Freshly Wild says, I love how you said and put into context, Justin. That's it. That's a lot of work, but very rewarding. Well, thank you. Yes, that's exactly what it is. And like I said, so I want to give you guys a little bit of advice for anyone who wants to do this lifestyle. This is not a lifestyle that's for everyone. And so you need to have a lot of communication with your partner if you are in a relationship, if you're married or dating someone, if it's serious. You guys both have to be on board because this lifestyle takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort. It can be trying. It can be emotionally hard. You can lose animals that you weren't expecting. We've had fatalities on the homestead when it comes to the animals. We've lost, rabbits and things like that. It can be heartbreaking if you're not ready for it. You both have to be emotionally prepared for the hardships. You got to be there for the good times, there for the bad times. It's not all going to be gravy. It can be stressful. You're not getting those date nights at a restaurant or going out to the movies because you got responsibilities. You got work to do. You've got animals to care for. But if you are both on board, I think it's a fantastic lifestyle. I recommend starting small for anyone who wants to start. Start with some rabbits, maybe start with some chickens. Get used to the process, get used to having animals. Don't bite off more than you can chew. I see people burning themselves out all the time. I see people getting in fights. You see relationships end because people take on more than they can. The stress gets to them. They don't know how to handle the stress. Not everything goes well. Things break down. It can be a ton of work. Sometimes your body fails you and you just need help. But if you are both truly on board and you both love the lifestyle and you're both willing to put the work in, then this can be a great thing for a family, great thing for a relationship. It can be very rewarding. Being self sufficient is nothing better than that. It's a lovely lifestyle, but it requires teamwork and effort. This would be very hard to do by yourself. I'll stand in front of the tractor here, so I got a little light. But um, if you're trying to live this lifestyle and do it on your own, do it solo, do it by yourself, it's going to be hard. So if you can have a team, if you can have a partner, if you can have family, friends, um, there's nothing better. Navajo says hello from Romania, and Abby's backup says it's another Lamar Jackson edit. Um, yes. Well, I hope I answered a bunch of your questions. I hope you guys had a good time with me. Let's ride out this sunset for a couple more minutes. The phone's about to die. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask. Kikalua says, does it get cold in the summer there? It's currently, we're down. So our day today, I'm going to use Celsius. I'll try to do some rough conversion. It was around 30 degrees Celsius today. So around 95 Fahrenheit. And tonight it's going to go down to 15 degrees Celsius, so like 64 Fahrenheit. So the nights get a little bit chilly, but comfortable. Helps cool the house down. You see this mist coming off of the fields behind me. I don't know how well that's showing up on camera, but there's like a gray mist coming off the fields. Um, that is because it is cooling down fast. So as that sun goes down, it is cooling down super, super quick, but the earth is still hot from all that hot sun. And so all the water is coming off of the fields. Um, Gary the Snail, there we go. There's the name I know and love. Says, I'm glad I caught you before you got off of here today. Not May says, do you like cute white boys though? Um, no comment. Uh Abby says, are you going to comment on it after the live? I will. I'm gonna have to go inside. I'm gonna have to plug the phone in because we're almost dead. I don't know if you guys are starting to see the mosquitoes, but they found me. And then we will comment on your video. Strawberry says hi. My sons were out in this field back here picking wild strawberries today. Blub says, I'm going to make an anime edit. Can you give me an anime name? Um, I mean, you know what? Rurouni Kenshin. Do a Rurouni Kenshin edit. He's the red-haired samurai. This is like a 90s anime. Fantastic. Rurouni Kenshin. I think the anime might just be called Kenshin. Maybe it's Rurouni Kenshin. I'm giving you an obscure one because we're not going to throw out the Naruto's or the One Pieces. We're going to give you something obscure. Usama Shak says, hi, bro. You are from Northern Canada. Abby's says, that's a little weird, but okay. Adore Gaming says, would you rather watch a tree grow or not today, friend? Strawberry says, oh, wow. But why says fire anime? It's good, man. It's good. Kikalula says Strawberry Field forever. Greg says, where are you located right now? We're in northern Canada. We got the sun setting behind us. I should really show that off. Mark Robinson says, sup, yo. How you doing, friend? Apollo says, you're such an awesome live. I'm gonna shout out you on my own live tomorrow. Apollo and Layla, tell me a little bit about your channel. We've got a couple minutes before the phone dies and we got to go inside, but tell us all about your channel so we can come check you out. Parth says, love you, bro. Love you too, Parth. Strawberry says, land looks gorgeous there. It is. Abby says, all right, I'm heading out for the night. Have a good night, Abby. Thanks for joining us. Blub says, that sounds awesome. I'll make sure to tag you. I am getting eaten alive, guys. I am getting eaten alive. The mosquitoes are out and they are fierce. Let's close the gate so that the goats stay in for the night. Ooh, we might not be able to. I might have to hop back in the loader. I gotta hop back in the loader one more time. I left a manure pile right in front of my gate and I cannot close the gate yet. So let's hop back in the loader and let's get that out of the way. We're gonna scoop that up or backblade it out. Okay, okay, okay. Sorry, it's a little dark in here. And do. Hello to everyone saying hi right now. I appreciate all of you. Oh, my goat is in the way. Look out, girl. I do not want to hurt you, so you got to get out of the way. Oh, look at her. She's just chasing me down. I think she's a little distracted by the light. She's like, what is this? What is this machine? What is this machine? Out of the way, girl. Mario, hi, how you guys doing? We're in northern Canada. Uh, do. Northern Canada, triple X. Okay, girl, stay out of the way. I don't want to hurt you, okay? Yep, good girl, good girl. Let's just, we're just going to backblade this out. We'll scoop it up later, but let's just get it out of here so we can close that gate. Oh boy, it is. I'm sending you guys the wrong way. I apologize, guys. I was making you look at the screen instead of my beautiful shadow. I know it's getting dark out here, and the phone is about to die. So we're going to end this stream very soon. We just got to be able to close that gate first so we can keep the goats in for the night. I'll catch up with the chat in 1 second. I just need to focus while I'm working near the animals because I do not need anyone getting hurt out here. Yeah, no, guys, stay in, stay in. Okay. No, 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 no. Don't come out. Don't you come out of there, boys. Hey, hey, let's go back in. Go back in. We want to close the gate. We want to close the gate. Come on, come on, come on, come on, pretty mama. Stay out of here. I want to close the gate. I'm going to catch up with you guys in 1 second, but of course, all of the goats decided, hey, I want to come out. Guys, okay, we're going to give them a treat. Come on, guys. Come on. Come on. Let's go get a treat, guys. Come on, puppy goats. Come on, guys. You know where I'm going. You know I'm going to where the treats are at. Got to get in here and get out before they. Bear with me, guys. I got to find a light. You guys like how I yell louder when it's dark? Makes no sense. Okay, let's give them some grain. We got some treats here. Okay, give them some treats, and then I'll catch up with the rest of the chat before the phone dies, and then we will end the stream. Oh boy, guys! Oh boy! Oh boy! You're tripping me up! You're tripping me up! There you guys go. Everyone enjoy. Everyone enjoy. No, 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 no! I'm not giving you more. There's no more. Oh, goats can't live with them. Can't live without them. Close that up. Close the container. Turn the light off. Bear with me, guys. Come out of here. Now that they're all doing their thing, let's go close that gate. Turn the loader off for the night. Oh, some good work tonight, guys. We're gonna read every question that I've missed here, and then we're gonna call it a night, guys. You guys have been fantastic. A wonderful crowd as always. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you guys for sticking around, for new faces, for returning faces. Let me sit down, or we'll stand. Let me here. I'll show you guys the sunset while I read the chat. Okay, let's see what we missed here. DH is saying, good stream. I subbed and look forward to the next. Triple X is from Pakistani. Mario says, I was wondering why it still looked light outside. Yes, it is 10 p.m. and the sun is setting. Gilbert says, finally, a down to earth, civilized person. Mostly civilized. Gary the Snail, I mean, I live out of civilization, but thank you for that. Gary says, it is a great channel. Apollo says, I agree, Gilbert. And Kikalua says, it's Canada, kind of like the northern tip of the earth. So the day is longer. Catalina says, they are following the tractor light. They are. And Gary said, they live in the kind of lives only some of us dream about. Kevin says, Jake Paul want to fight you. What'd I ever do to my boy Jake? Apollo and Layla says, we are from New Jersey and we have our own little homestead. Not quite the level of yours, just 3 dogs and 24 chickens. Apollo, that is a fantastic start. That is the perfect spot to start. Obviously, you have your own channel, so you're doing the live streaming too. I have right now 29 chickens, 15 ducks. I'm hatching another 40 ducks. I think only about 30 of them, though, actually took. So we'll see when I candle them in a day or two. We have 4 pigs, currently have one newly pregnant cow. And of course, we have 9 goats. Kekalua says, if I have a ton of supply, I would live there for a while. Alan, how are you doing, Alan? Welcome to the conversation. Sorry, I saw you there a few times. The Thunder Bay area is a beautiful area. Gary the Snail says it's about 11 p.m. here. Freshly Wild says, love you guys. Thank you for being part of the community. Ern says, get drunk in the wilderness. Actually, Ern, surprisingly, I don't drink. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I just enjoy living. Not to say I never have drank. I drank my fair share throughout university, but nowadays I haven't had a single drink in over 6 years. Kikalua says, are they for meat or for eggs? The chickens and ducks are primarily for eggs. However, any surplus males do get eaten. And Freshly Wild is asking if we can get to 120 likes. Freshly, I'm not going to make it to 120 likes. We are at 4% battery, and I am getting eaten alive out here. Mercy says it's a pretty sight. Alan says drugs are fun sometimes. Just a Dude said, wow, you're still on. And Alan says, in all fairness, fair enough. It's just not for me. I don't judge anyone who partakes in some recreation, but it's just not for me. Taco says, have a great evening. Kiklua says, drugs are not cool. A little bit is okay. Okay, guys, it's that time. I appreciate you guys. The mosquitoes want to take me away for dinner, and I don't want to get eaten. We're also down to about 2% battery life. It is time to say goodnight. I appreciate you guys. This has been a fantastic conversation. When will I be back? I live stream about 3 to 5 times a week. I might be back tomorrow. So I try to post on the channel um, a little bit of a preview a couple hours out. I never know what my day is going to be, so I can't always promise a when I'm going to go live. But usually it's between 7 p.m. Central and 8 p.m. On the weekends, every once in a while, I'll get on here during the day. But for the most part, I got to spend my evenings with my children and my days with my kids. But usually we're doing some evening streams when the kids go to sleep. So like and subscribe if you guys want to have more conversations like this one. I appreciate you guys all. Thank you. Take care. Have a good night. We are almost at 100 minutes, but we're going to end early. Good night, guys.